Well, in the last few hours, Home Secretary James Cleverly has announced a sweeping package of measures which he hopes will drastically cut the amount of net migration into the UK. Now, the government has been under enormous pressure to reduce the numbers of people coming here, really after the ONS figures a few weeks ago, which revealed that last year 745,000 people came to the UK. Now, James Cleverly in the Commons today told MPs that his plan will cut that number by about 300,000. So what did he announce? A couple of things. First of all, foreign care workers will no longer be able to bring family members over to them. There are about 100,000 care workers that come to the UK every year, lots of whom bring dependents alongside them, so that's going to be going. The next thing is that the salary threshold for skilled workers wanting to come here is going to be hiked from around £26,000 to £38,000. So unless you earn £38,000, you will not be able to come to the UK unless, and it's the crucial unless, you work in health and social care. And then also what we're seeing is the shortage occupation list, which allows bosses to hire for about 20% less than the going rate from overseas. That's going to be scrapped as well. What the government wants is for the army of unemployed people in this country to essentially, in their words, in the words of the Home Secretary, get off benefits and fill those vacancies. Net migration has been running at a record high. Tory MPs are sick of it. Voters, they believe, are sick of it. And Rishi Sunak, who's going to the polls next year, feels it's something which he crucially has to address if he has any hope of winning an election. And so what we saw today was the first step towards remedying that. But it seems to have been warmly welcomed by Tory MPs so far, many of whom in the chamber, by the way, said we don't know why it's taken so long to launch this immigration crackdown. However, it does seem to have been broadly welcomed so far. Even Suella Braverman, who was sacked in a fit of fury and said that the government was doing nowhere near enough to curb migration numbers, said, okay, actually this is a step in the right direction. James Cleverly in the Commons earlier was very cautious to say this might take time while these reforms are going to come in the new year. To actually see the steady decline of migration numbers might take a while. They're going to be hoping, beyond hope, that this kicks in, or at least voters start to feel the effects of reduced migration before the next election. So Labour actually said, hang on a minute, some of those policies you announced today we've been calling for a while. So to Yvette Cooper's credit, since the summer she's been calling for the shortage occupation list, which allows bosses to hire 20% less than the going rate from overseas. They've been calling for that to be scrapped for months, and so they said, hang on a minute, actually we were the ones that called for that and you're just riding in our coattails. They said that this entire thing, though, is symptomatic of a government which has lost control of net migration. And net migration really, and migration in general, controlling immigration, has traditionally been a Tory strength. And the Tories have benefited off saying that they are tough when it comes to border control. Labour now doing a massive grab of land on, parking their tanks on their lawn. And so I think Labour are trying to really sort of capture the immigration battlegrounds, which is going to be crucial when the country goes to the polls sometime next year. Well, I think that Rishi Sunak and James Cleverly are going to grab the headlines tomorrow with their net migration crackdown. In all fairness, it does seem quite a big package of measures, but as with ever in politics, the proof will be in the pudding as to whether it actually works. And I'm sure as the finer details come out in the next few days, they're going to be hoping it doesn't unravel. Well, obviously this package of measures is to reduce the amount of migrants who come here legally. However, one of Rishi Sunak's 5 pledges is to stop the boats, i.e. the numbers that come here illegally. Now, while today's measures don't go anywhere to addressing that, don't think for a single minute that the government have forgotten about it. In the next few days, we expect Home Secretary James Cleverly to be on a plane out to Rwanda to sign a new treaty with the country in the hopes of getting that deal, which, remember, was torpedoed essentially by the Supreme Court, getting that deal over the line. He's going to have a new treaty which will hope to address some of the problems raised by the courts, and then a few days after that, we're hoping to see this new emergency legislation, which will mean that the Rwanda plan isn't blocked domestically in the UK, and so they're going to be getting on with that as well. So it's the twin track approach. We've got legal migration today. In the next few days, to stop the boats, a legal migration plan hopefully come to the fore as well. David Cameron in the Foreign Office will be doing lots to sort of form relations with Rwanda. However, I think the Home Office are keen to wrestle control of this one. It's been a farce for a long time now, and they're going to be the ones who want to get a grip on this.